Hey everyone, welcome back. In this video, I'm going to explain AWS Transit Gateway. You know why this matters? Because most companies start with one or two VPCs, but as they grow, they build a web of peering connections that becomes impossible to manage. If you have ever tried to route traffic between 50 different VPCs, you know exactly what I'm talking about. This service is the key to scaling your network without losing your mind. So what is the problem with the traditional approach? When you connect VPCs using standard peering, every VPC needs a direct connection to every other VPC. It is called a full mesh. For a small team, this is fine. But for a growing company, it is a disaster. You end up managing thousands of individual routes. If you add a new VPC, you have to update the routing tables in every single existing VPC. It is brittle, it is slow, and it breaks production. That is the pain point we are solving today. So, what is an AWS Transit Gateway exactly? Think of it like a central hub in an airport. Instead of every plane flying directly to every other city, they all fly into one central hub. From there, the airport manages the connections to every other destination. In AWS, your VPCs are the planes. They connect to the transit gateway, and the gateway handles all the routing rules in one place. It turns your complex mesh into a simple spoke and hub model. Let us look at how this works internally. The transit gateway sits in the center. All your VPCs and your on-premises network connect to this single point. When VPC A wants to talk to VPC B, it sends the packet to the transit gateway. The gateway looks at its centralized route table and forwards the traffic to the destination. It is clean, it is centralized, and it is incredibly fast. Now, how does this work internally? It works by creating a virtual attachment for each VPC. Once you attach a VPC, you tell the gateway which route table to use. You can have multiple route tables to isolate traffic. For example, you can create a production route table and a development route table and ensure they never talk to each other. It gives you enterprise-grade network control that you simply cannot get with basic peering. Before we get into the setup, you need to be prepared. First, you need an AWS account. Second, ensure your AWS command line interface is installed. We are going to use the command line because it is the most reliable way to handle these configurations. You need two VPCs ready to go. If you are on Windows, open your command prompt. If you are on Mac or Linux, use your terminal. Verify your connection by running the identity command shown on screen. If you see your account information, you are ready to go. Take a moment to review each point shown on screen. The first step is creating the gateway itself. We use the create transit gateway command. We give it a description so we can find it later in the console. When you run this, AWS will return a JSON object. You need to save the transit gateway ID from that output because we will use it in every subsequent command. That ID is the unique handle for your new hub. This is the expected output. The state starts as pending. It usually takes a minute or two for the gateway to become available. Once the state changes to available, you can proceed to the next step. If you see an error here, check your credentials or your region settings. Now we attach our VPC to the gateway. We use the create transit gateway VPC attachment command. You must provide the gateway ID we just created, the VPC ID, and a list of subnets. The subnets allow the gateway to place network interfaces inside your VPC. This is how the traffic actually gets routed. You will need to repeat this for every VPC you want to connect. When you run the attachment command, you get an attachment ID. If you are connecting across accounts, the state will be pending acceptance. You would then need to go to the other account to accept the request. If you are in the same account, it will automatically transition to available. In a production environment, you need specific routing rules. Here, we create a route to point traffic for a specific CIDR block to our attachment. This tells the transit gateway that if it sees traffic for the 10.1 network, it should send it to this specific attachment. This is how you control traffic flow between your production and development environments. The output shows the route is now active. This means your gateway is now actively routing traffic based on your rules. This is exactly what a senior engineer would configure to ensure that production traffic is isolated and directed correctly. A common mistake is trying to route traffic that overlaps. If you define a route that already exists in another attachment, the AWS IP, I will reject it. This usually happens when two VPCs have overlapping CIDR ranges. The root causes an addressing conflict. You cannot route traffic if the gateway does not know which VPC owns the address space. The fix is to inspect your current route table before adding a new rule. Use the Get Transit Gateway Route Table Entries command. This will show you exactly what is already defined. If you find a conflict, you must readdress one of your VPCs. There is no way around that. Proper IP address management is mandatory when using Transit Gateway. Think about a healthcare platform. They have strict compliance and need to isolate patient data. They had 40 different VPCs and were manually managing over 1,200 peering routes. It was a nightmare. Every time they added a new VPC, they had to manually update route tables everywhere. When they switched to Transit Gateway, they automated the whole process. They cut their setup time from 6 hours down to 15 minutes. It saved their operations team hundreds of hours per year. So when should you use this? If you have more than 5 VPCs, it is time to switch. It also makes sense if you are connecting your data center to the cloud. But do not over-engineer. If you only have 2 VPCs, just use standard peering. It is cheaper and easier. Also consider the cost. Transit Gateway charges for both attachments and per gigabyte of traffic. If you do not have significant traffic, the cost might outweigh the benefits. Use these criteria to decide if this tool is right for your situation. We have covered a lot today. Here is what you need to remember. First, Transit Gateway is the standard for large-scale networking. It replaces your messy peer mesh with a clean hub. Second, it is essential for multi-account setups. Third, audit your IP ranges first. Overlapping ranges are the #1 cause of network failure. Finally, use route tables to keep your production and dev environments isolated. If you follow these rules, your network will be stable and ready for growth. I believe this video will definitely be a useful video. If you like the video, please do like and hype the video. Also share it with your friends and groups. It may be useful to somebody else. If you have any doubts or any requests, please let me know in the comments. Make sure you have subscribed to stay updated for our regular videos. Join our WhatsApp community using the link in the description because we share more knowledgeable content every day. Thank you for watching. See you soon in the next video.